sweat for the learning of Torah. This is a great rectification of the soul. Oh, I thought you were not feeling well.
Yeah. It was not good yesterday.
Elliot cannot live without learning. He just cannot live. It's like he's like a fish in a pond. He has to have water. He has to have the knowledge. That's it. Okay, good morning, everybody. Let's learn. We are, as I said, we have to finish by 11 o'clock. That's the problem over here, because we are in the children's domain over here right now. But they give us 50 minutes, and on your way out, you can pick some ice cream out. Imagine going to Talmud Torah my days having an ice cream truck. Yeah, good life these kids have. Baruch Hashem.
Ice cream. We get ice cream too.
When you leave the share, you can get some ice cream. That's if you behave. You have to behave.
Oy, now you're asking. Now you're asking a lot.
So, in Chassidut, we're holding, I believe, on page 28, I believe. If I'm wrong, you'll 26, 28, I don't know. There's
There's nothing written on 28, so we run 26.
That means nothing written on 28. Oh.
I annotate.
26. Okay. I remember.
Chapter 7.
Chapter 7. I remember I started chapter 7. Okay. So the Alter Rebbe introduces us the concept of a Kabbalistic world. First of all, in honor, we're doing the shir in honor of, in memory of Yortzeit of Masha Chasha Bas Yosef Hersh. Someone should have an aliyah, should be an ambassador of goodness and kindness in the world. It should make a little cooler in Florida over here. Yes? Sure, you can add your money. Right here. What? Ya'al Bazev. Yeah, we can put a standing fan. Good idea. Bring a fan. Okay. So, my friends, the Alter Rebbe introduces us something where you learn in Kabbalah the concept of klippa. Klippa. If you wanted to curse a guy in yeshiva, you call them a klippa. A klippa means you're a covering. You're not real. You're hiding something. Something is hiding. Klippa means a simple word of a klippa means it's a covering, like a shell. So you have a covering. The world is a covering. The world is a covering. Olam comes from the word helem, hidden. Something is hidden. Esther's name is hidden. Esther. She's hidden. Something is behind the situation. Everything in life has something that's behind it. There's something that is hiding, something that needs to be revealed, especially in the physical world. You have a concept of what is revealed and what's hidden. Now the question is, the physical is always revealed, but that don't need to have a revelation for the physical world to be revealed. It's the spiritual world that needs a revelation. We need revelation. We're looking for revelation last week. Parshas Yisro was revelation. It's all about revelation. Concept of God revealing himself. Spirituality revealing himself. Can you imagine the Baditch of it? Can you imagine if we saw the soul and we read in the book about the physicality? The world would be different. The world's the opposite. The physical is what we see, and we're reading in the book about spirituality. It's not really fair. It's not really fair. That's why in the Torah last week, the Baal Shem Tov said the word chamor. Chamor, right? The Torah likes a donkey for whatever reason. A lot of donkeys in the Torah. The donkey of Moshe Rabbeinu, donkeys. You have to redeem the donkey, right? Out of all the animals, you got to redeem the donkey. Because chamor comes from the word chomer, which means density. Chumri is physicality. Your body is compared to a chamor. It's chumri. It's dense. It has a lot of clippers, a lot of coverings to it. Extremely a lot of coverings. You have a light that has a lot of coverings, which in Chassidus is called the concept of timtum alev. Timtum alev amer. The density, the darkness of the heart and the mind. Right? We have a heart, we have a mind, we know, we think, we understand, we have feelings, but it's extremely heavy. Chamor lamasa. Chamor, a donkey to its weight, to its carrying, to the capability of carrying. The body becomes very weight. Think about it. The body becomes very weightful. It has a lot of issues, financial, health, family. It's a lot of problem carrying a lot of luggage. And that becomes the chumrius of the body. That becomes the density of the body. That's a hard thing to ultimately the body is weighed down. And therefore, the Baal Shem Tov said, you have to help the chumrius. You have to help the body. You have to elevate the body, right? You have to refine the body. That's your avoid. That's the avoid of a yid, is to refine the physical world. The Alter Rebbe say that God makes spirituality into physicality. Yesh mi'ayin, something from nothing, something from the spiritual world was like nothing, spirituality into something, a physical thing. And a Jew needs to take the physical and transform it into spiritual. So he has to reveal the true essence of everything, that everything that you see in the world has a purpose, has a godliness, has an agenda. There's nothing what you see is really what you think it is, right? Science says that also. When you're looking at the table, it's all molecules. But the Torah says it's not molecules, it's God. So it just changes the word, okay? So whatever you see in the table, whatever you see in the physical world, so you can look at each other. What we see in each other is not the physical. We shouldn't be looking at the physical side of each other. We should be looking at the spiritual side of one another. That's how we can have Avas Yisrael, is that we can be able to look at our essence, that we are one entity, even though physically we're different. We come from different places and our bodies are different. But really, we have one Father. We have one source. Correct? And that one source gives us the purpose of Yiddishkeit, gives us our purpose to do Torah mitzvahs and to elevate the world, etc., etc. Right? So, but people always say there's a reality and there's a philosophy. What world are you living in? You're living in the real world, or you're living in some philosophical world? What world we're living in? We're living in the real world, or we're living in some philosophical world, right? You look at a righteous person, you say he doesn't live in the world. He's not a worldly person. He's not living in the world. Or you look at the Torah and you say that you see what the Torah wants you to do, you'll learn the Alter Rebbe, you say, this is not real. This sounds like a great idea. If you only could do it. If I only could do it, this would be a wonderful idea. If the world, imagine the Torah wants a world of peace and harmony. Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. The Torah has a great hope for humanity, but it's not a reality. So why do I need to live in a world of fantasy if I can live in a world of reality? That's the question. So what is reality? So God looks at reality in one way, and we look at reality in another way. So God looks at reality as what's real reality is godliness and purity and love and goodness and kindness, no wars, no hate, no jealousy. Imagine living in a world, no jealousy, no hate, no. A world of love and that's it. That's what God thinks the world should be. That's what God wants the world to be. So God thinks that is why I created the world. I didn't create the world for a world of strife. I created a world to bring peace in the world. That the world should be Isa Shalom. There should be peace in the world. Not only peace between the world, between the Jews. Jews should love each other and should be one nation. They should feel like they're brothers and sisters. They should feel like one entity. That's what I think is possible. We look at God and say, you serious? That's possible. That's a fantasy. It's a nice dream. It's a hope. It's a wish. I wish. I hope. One day we will be one. I don't know what that one day is going to be. But one day, maybe after 120 years in Gan Eden, that's where everybody gets along. Yeah, so that's Mashiach. That's Mashiach. That's it.
That's the only thing really focus on.
That's the dunk.
Going to carry Mashiach.
But that's it. That's what we need to do. We need to be able to say that that's the reality. So actually, that's what he says in the benching. You say after benching, you say, Hayinu kecholmim. We were like dreaming. That means right now we're dreaming. When Mashiach comes, we'll realize actually this was all a fake. This whole thing was a cholam, was a nightmare maybe. Some people it was a nightmare. Some people it was a nice dream, but still above a Maisa. Because the real life is a godly life. That's the emes. That's the truth. The real life is a life of goodness and kindness and love and godliness and Torah mitzvahs. And that's it. That's the real life. That's the real life. What? I think the Rebbe was, no, he was living in reality. We're living in a dream. We're living in a dream. Say the same story of the Chayzer Milablin, the Chayzer Milablin. He lived 15th century. I'm not sure. Don't take my history. Though great. So he lived much later. The Chayzer Milablin lived in the 17th, 18th century. So the Chayzer was a great tzaddik. It was called the Chayzer because Chayzer means to see. Chayzer Milablin, he lived in Lublin. And he was a great tzaddik who had the capability of seeing things in a distance. He has a capability of seeing things that normal people don't see. So they say the story that once time they came to him, his secretary came to him, he said, in the outside they say Mashiach is here. Mashiach is here. So he went to the door, went to the window, he opened the window, he took a smell. He said, doesn't smell like it. It doesn't smell like Mashiach. Mashiach. So the Rebbe said the story, and he said, why didn't he just smell it in the office? Why do you have to go to the window? Why do you have to open the window? Because by him, Mashiach was there. He lived a godly life. He didn't have any physical, mundane struggles with his Yetzer Hara. He was a tzaddik. He was a person that his life was totally godliness. He opened the window. He said, in here maybe, but outside, it doesn't smell like Mashiach said. Mashiach, the world has not been changed. The world needs that to have rectification. Yeah. Or is it a reality? No, it's a purpose. It's a purpose. We need to bring a little bit of purpose in our life. That's the smell of Mashiach. A little bit of purpose. That's why it says like Shabbos is me'ein olam haba. Shabbos is a taste of the world to come. And why we separate ourselves from the world, and the Eibishter demands us to separate ourselves from physicality, from any kind of physical thing, and eat a lot of chunk, but sit and daven and learn and pray and be together and eat together and be a spiritual reality. As much as possible you can to be a spiritual day. That's why it says, when Mashiach comes, be Yom Shekula Shabbos. It'll be like a one long Shabbos. You might get very bored, but it's going to be whatever that means. A lot of people, Shabbos is a struggle. Right? Correct. When Mashiach comes, it won't be a struggle. No, it'll be wonderful. You'll realize why the Eibishter, why God put everything in its right place, and what your avoid is. You can imagine if you knew your avoid. If I knew what the Eibishter put me in this world for, I'll be so focused. Nothing would. I would realize why I'm in this situation, why I needed to go through this, why I'm got. It would all be part of my Avodah. You have to realize any situation that you're in is part of your Avodah, part of your service. From the Rebbe, I heard a Gvaldig word from the Rebbe, and he said, Yid, a lady once wrote to the Rebbe that, she was a Jew. She was a Jew, or from she was a searching person who went through many different things in her life. Maybe even non-kosher things, Buddhism and all these idol worshiping. She went to the Himalayas, she sat in the mountains and she ate rice and she thought she was very close to God and she had all these things. And then she came to Yiddishkeit and realized that most of the stuff in her life was Avodah Zarah. Some of them was real Avodah Zarah, was real idol worship. And for a Jewish soul, that's a problem. The Rebbe answered her, that the Mishnah says, Yagaiti umatsasi tamin. which means if you search, you will find. So a Jew that searches, a neshama that searches, whatever goes into life, that's part of the matzasi. That's part of the finding. What brought you to find is the search. And what you went through in life, what the neshama goes through in life is part of the yagia, part of the search, which brings every neshama to ultimately to its place. So therefore the journey is part of the finding. And a Jew should not be sad for whatever journey they went through in life. They should realize that every journey was part of the finding, the ultimate product that came about from this journey. Yes, but you'll realize when Mashiach comes what the journey is right now. No, I didn't. Not, you don't know. You know the general purpose. You don't know your particular purpose, because then you'll do your purpose and you'll go out. That's sure. We're gonna search our purpose. I don't know. Don't. I tell God I never finished my purpose. I have a lot of things yet to accomplish. So therefore, no, I don't. My purpose is to be a Jew. My purpose is to do everything. I think the Torah tells it, but to do everything. The Eibishter gave you 248 positive commandments, 365 negative commandments. And the truth is, if that's my purpose, then I cannot even, the Eibishter, God in essence, holds me back from doing many commandments. Because there's certain things I cannot do, even if I want to do it right now. Right? I don't have to worry. That's why I'm going to live forever. And I'm going to live till Mashiach comes. Mashiach's going to come, and I'll be able to do every mitzvah.
Very long.
It's every morning in davening.
Yeah.
One of the things you're saying, you bless God because He's going to rise the dead.
Right. That Hashem. Why is it rising the dead one of the most principles of Israel? Because everybody has to do every mitzvah. So all those Jews that died didn't do a lot of mitzvahs that they have to do. So they all have to come back. It says Moshe Rabbeinu. That's one of the things that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't do all mitzvahs. Oh, he didn't do all the mitzvahs that are connected to Eretz. He didn't go to Israel. So he didn't do all the mitzvahs. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't do most of the mitzvahs that I don't do, that most Jews don't do today. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't do most mitzvahs that most Jews haven't done in thousands of years. They didn't do what they did. What? Yeah. If they live in Eretz, you can do every mitzvah. Yeah. They're all coming back. Everybody's coming back. Because trust me, even the mitzvah that could have done every mitzvah, they didn't do every mitzvah. That's the problem. The Gemara says, every Jew would imagine if every Jew would keep the Shabbos. Mashiach would have come a long time ago. But it seems like every Jew there's not a situation that since the first Shabbos at the Jewish camp, no, don't think never going to happen. Mashiach's going to come. It's going to happen. So, no, hopefully before Mashiach comes. So whatever, you say never, then you're saying your reality is that's the reality. No. Torah says it's the reality that every Jew should keep the Shabbat. And if you're going to say that's not the reality, then you're living in a different reality than God. I think the vote is it's a possibility for everything to happen. It's not the reality because you have Jews that don't want to live, don't want to face reality. But is it possible? You're telling me in this world it's not possible for every Jew to keep it. Actually, in this world that we live in, it's possible for every Jew to keep the Shabbos. It may be years ago, it was much harder for Jews to keep the Shabbos. Today, every Jew, wherever you are in the world, can keep the Shabbos. There's no excuse. Nobody's going to fire you. Nobody's going to beat you. Nobody's going to kill you. Nobody's going to put you in any tzadis. You can be anywhere in the world and you can keep the Shabbos. And that's the reality. Baruch Hashem, you can be a Ner Chabad, so you also be in a Shabbos. So there's a possibility. Why isn't it happening? Not because it's not possible. Because some Jews have decided it's not a reality. But it's not true. It's their fantasy, it's not a reality. It is a reality.
But there are different levels of keeping Shabbos.
There's no such thing, different levels. That's your own fantasy. We have one law. There's only one law. There's one Torah, there's one law. That's it.
Century Village has a shul, and we also have a Shabbos.
If their rabbi agrees that the Shabbos bus is kosher, then it's kosher. Well, I'm not going to argue with that. No, it's not. If the rabbi says they can do that, it's good. Yeah. No, every Jew. Attempt to look to echad echad. The prophet says God will bring back every Jew. They'll come back. Every Jew will come back. Every Jew. No, it's amazing. Because our neshama is our neshama. It's going to keeping Shabbos. The neshama will start keeping Shabbos. The neshama will bring a carbon paste, a carbon chatas. The neshama will do every mitzvah. The neshama is everlasting. The neshama is everlasting. I'm gonna be. God forgave them. If the most of the Arizal says the neshama is in Gehenna is 11 months, so then he's forgiven. God forgives everybody. Trust me. God forgives him. He comes back. Everybody comes back. No, you shouldn't. Why? They get cremated because the Dafka wanted to get cremated. They knew the Torah law. Most people have no idea. They have no idea the negative of cremation. You can't blame you can't blame ignorance. I don't think Jews chose cremation against the Torah. They chose cremation because they money issues, family, environment. A lot of Jews, environment, Baba Mises, and all shtusim about. Then the shamas, there's always a lose. The Gemara says there's always a part of the body that doesn't get destroyed. So that lose is going to come back.
So even if somebody's cremated, when the Mashiach comes, they will be
Mitzvah. Because I'm not going to judge every Jew. I say every Jew, God should forgive him. Why? I want to condemn Jews? I don't want God to condemn me, so I should condemn somebody else. Yeah, but she should forgive every Jew. And God should forgive them all and give them Gan Eden and give them Eilam Haba. I don't wish ill on any Jew out there, even the biggest sinner. I don't wish any evil on anybody. There's always hope. There's always hope. There's hope for Goyim too. There's hope for everybody. The Eibishter loves humanity. Hafti eschem amar Hashem. A father doesn't condemn a child forever. God is your father, no parent condemns a child forever. You know what you think? What, are you worried about the place? Space? I don't know. We'll worry about when that happens. When it happens, we'll figure it out. Don't worry. You don't have to give away your apartment. Don't worry. Don't worry. There's enough room. Go to Israel. You'll see there's Baruch Hashem, a lot of empty mountains there. Live and driving. You drive for an hour, 2-3 hours in an empty place. What's going to be all that empty place? It's filled with Jews. Zat Hashem. You worry about too many Jews. Baruch Hashem. Don't worry. Let them be. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. The better. We're going to love each other. There won't be strife then. We'll be loving each other. So what's the problem? It's going to be a wonderful thing. So be going too. What's the world? They're going to live out of the mountains of Israel. Yeah, they'll have to come in. Who's going to have to help us out? There's Jews. I need help. Jews don't like to work. No, they're going to be led. They're going to be part of us. They're going to get Toshav. There's a concept of a ger Toshav in the Torah. You can have a non-Jew that lives in it. So there's nothing wrong with that. We could all live in harmony, in peace and harmony. Imagine such a situation. Whatever. Why don't we imagine such a situation? Because we're living in a world of covers. We're living in a world of where everything, the truth is, we can't know the truth anymore. Today, you don't even know the truth. What is true, what's not true? I'm mixed up. We're mixed up. It's not believed. You can't say certain things. You better be careful. You say the wrong word. You say the wrong expression. You say the wrong, not politically right. Be careful. Everything is careful, right? So we live in a world of falsity, alma de shikra, a world of clippers, a world of coverings. Question is how many coverings you have? How far am I away from the truth? Alter Rebbe in Tanya today actually says, what is primary and what is secondary? Is my godly soul primary and my body secondary? Or my body's primary and my godly soul is secondary? So that tzaddik, if you think that you're a tzaddik, that you're a righteous person, only a righteous person, his godly soul is primary and his animal and his body is secondary. Everybody else, even a Beinani, his body is primary. That's it. And the question is, how do I fit God into this body? How do I fit the spirituality into this body? My body is primary. My health is primary. I am primary. And now, how do I fit God into the situation? A tzaddik, his godliness is primary. And then the question is, how do he fit his body into the situation? Fit my body. How do I give time to my body? In a life of my primary is godliness. So how do I have time for the body? And that's the way it is. And that's the situation. So we're not a tzaddikim. I consider myself, I'm not a tzaddik. And therefore, I have a nefesh habamis, I have an animalistic soul. And my nature is to think about myself. Adam oyev es atzmai, the Gemara says. Every person loves himself. That's it. And he might be humble, he might, but the second you touch him the wrong way, you're finished. Right? Tzaddikim shemeim es charpasan, and tzaddikim can hear their own denigration and they don't respond because that's not primary. You're denigrating their body. Who cares? But to us, if we say the wrong thing to somebody, he's going to get angry. What? It is the body because it's I. It's I. You insulted me. If you insulted God, why would you get insulted? If you insulted my godliness, why would you get insulted? God needs to have your help to stick up for him. Don't worry, God can handle insult. God handles avodah zarah. He handles worse than just insults. He handled atheists. He handles communists. He handles idol worship. He handles a lot. An insult is not going to affect him that much. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about an insult. Not doing an insult. If somebody insults you, you get angry. What do you? Trust me. Somebody insults Judaism. David should deal with him. I'm not worried for God. I'm not worried. I don't have to. Don't ignore it. I understand, but I trust me. God can handle somebody's insult. Again, God can handle avodah zarah. That's the greatest insult. Look in the Torah. The greatest insult to God is idol worship. Not anti-Semitism, idol worship. And God, Baruch Hashem, handles it. He handles it. The Gemara says, God can handle anything besides one thing. The ego. God can even handle idol worship. He cannot handle ego. The I. Self is it.
Think of it as I preference to Hashem. I over Hashem.
No, every I. That's what the Alter Rebbe says. I. You got to get rid of the I. The I. That's it. Ego. The idols is a stone. The idol is a piece of stone. The idol is a piece of wood. That's a challenge to God, a piece of stone. A stone, a wood. A person that says, I, it's all about me and not about God, that's a bigger challenge. That's a bigger challenge. That's why in the next 2 weeks you're going to have, the Abish says, what's my battle with in the world? Is Amalek. Amalek is my battle. My battle in the world is Amalek. What's Amalek? Amalek is doubt. That's my battle. Doubt in the world. That a person thinks that I have doubt. There's I and there's God. That is my battle from generation to generation. If Jews would not have any doubt, they would be clear. They would be strong with themselves. They would know the emes. They would live the emes. There would not be a war in this world. It's also a physical threat. But the Malik, the Abish says, the Abish, look in you'll come to shul in 2 weeks. You'll hear that it says, God says, Mechemes Hashem b'Amalek dur. I have a generation, this fight with Amalek. It has never stopped. Amalek, there's no Amalek today in the world, officially Amalek. You don't know who Amalek is. You don't know who Amalek is. You cannot point, this is Amalek. You don't know. Okay? But we know what Amalek is in the spiritual battle of God, and that is doubt. Because the word Amalek has the same numerical value as the word in Hebrew, Safek, doubt. And that's the true war with Amalek, is doubt. When we have doubt, when we think that maybe this is not true, as I said before, it's a wonderful thing. But who said it is true? Who said it's concerning me? That is the biggest struggle with Amalek. That's the biggest struggle that God has in the world. That's the true struggle. Doubt. Not having emunah, not having bitachon, not having faith, not having trust in God. That is God's struggle.
Doubt of his existence.
It's a doubt, whatever the doubt is, doubt of existence, doubt of power, doubt of his capability, doubt of God's divine providence, whatever it is. It's all the same. Whatever. Truth is, anti-Semitism gives doubt. Understand? It's part of the picture. That the Holocaust is doubt, and anti-Semitism is doubt. All of this is part of the doubt. It's all the struggle of the doubt. It's the doubt. Why is there anti-Semitism? Maybe Jews are not so special. Ata b'chatonu were chosen to be constantly gehackt and gesetzt. So that's a good question. Like, what's going on? Or we see tragedy in the world, right? We see tragedy. God forbid. Somebody dies, young person dies, somebody's in pain. It all brings doubt. It all brings the concept of doubt. Right? Here the Abisha says everything is good. And how do you see something bad and say it's good? It's all the doubt. It's all the suffering. It's all the covering. It's all the concept of what covers over the truth. The biggest cover is the doubt. And why do I have doubt? Because again, if I could put myself aside and say I believe in God, then I wouldn't have any doubt. But the physical side of me says, wait a second, sure I believe in God. Well, what's going on over here? A 100%. God gave us that concept. No question about it. That's a clip. Yeah. There haven't been without doubt. 100%. He gave it to us in full strength. He knows that 100%. That's it. And that sure he gave us a doubt. And he gave us the doubt, and he gave us the capability to overcome the doubt. So he gave us both concepts. The question is again, what is more important to me? To have doubt, to live with the doubt, or to live with certainty? What is more important to me? What? Halavai. Halavai. If we can create a focus of certainty in our life, we can strengthen our emunah and our faith in God, then we would have certainty and no doubt would be able to conquer it. But the second we don't strengthen our emunah, that's a emunah is called emunah, the sages say, because it's it's work. It's a job. Emunah is not something that you get and finished. No. Emunah needs to be worked on every day. It needs to be worked on every. That's why we say in the morning, that's the beginning of my emunah. The beginning, the platform of my faith is that the Eibishter gave me an neshama. That's the biggest emunah. If I can believe in that, I'll have less doubt during the day. Because nobody wants to have doubt. Nobody wants to have a day of doubt and struggles. Everybody wants to have a clear day. I can give you a lot of things that gives us doubt. That's the struggle of Yiddishkeit. That's the struggle of life. $100%. 100%. It's all part of the journey. All part of one day we will see the beautiful tapestry of God's world. One day we will see this beautiful tapestry. One day we'll see the backside. One day. Now you can see it after 120 years. Or when Mashiach comes, we'll see the whole journey of say the famous story. They say that my Ritcha Magid said before he died, he said, when I'm come to heaven, I'm going to stop all tzaddis. I'm going to stop it. I'm going to stop everything. So he went up to heaven and didn't stop. Nothing stopped. The drums are going on and terrible things. They came to one of his students. He said, listen, I'm sure you're asking the question, what happened? Truth is, everything from over here looks like a terrible. From above, it looks like this is the way it needs to be. So it's very hard to when you come above to be able to stop something when in l'shamayim nothing bad happens from above, and it's very hard for us to understand this. So, but therefore, don't rush to God to answer you those questions, those $1 million questions, because that my God say, okay, come up to heaven, I'll tell you the answer. So therefore, let's not rush to answer that question. Let's leave it a question. And hopefully Mashiach comes first, and then we'll have the answer. We don't have to. God will not call us up to heaven and answer the question. So therefore, don't rush to. Don't have a question. It's a good question. It's a good question. It's like the Rebbe we said. I don't want to answer the Holocaust. Answer the Holocaust. Because I wanted to say a question. I want God to answer the Holocaust. If I'm going to answer the Holocaust, then I am going to agree. I don't want to answer the death of any child in the world. I don't want to answer that question. Because God needs to answer that question. God needs to answer the question. Why is there suffering in the world? God needs to answer that question, not me. I'm not going to answer. I'm not going to give a rational answer to suffering in the world. I will never do such thing. It's wrong. Yes. See, God trusts in you more than God trusts in us more than we trust in ourselves. Because it's not the Eibishter created us in His image. He gave us free will, which is the ultimate beauty of humanity. Free will. The second God takes away your free will, you're like a dog in the street. You're like a cat. They're wonderful, but they're not humans, and that's it. So the Eibishter created a human with free will. It's one of the beauties out of the Baal Shem. I mean, the Rambam writes, we don't realize the beauty of free will. It makes you who you are. It gives you what you are. It makes you feeling success. It gives you so many qualities, free will, and the Eibishter should never take away your free will. And what? It gives us potential in anything. Everything you do, you feel good because of your free will. Every person you make smile, every person you make happy is because of your free will. And you don't want anybody to change that. You don't want God to change that. What? And to the truth, last you everything you wake up in the morning, is your free will. You drink something, you eat something, you say hello to something. It's all based on your free will. And you never want to change it. Self-understood. We live in a world, Tevara, that sometimes your free will is going to be bad. But you never trust me. The Torah says you are all righteous people. That means that most of us in our lifetimes, the 1 and 2%, whatever percent you want to give in your bad free will is no comparison to the percentage that you have done good free will. You have chosen the right things. You have done the right things. You have said the right things. You have looked at things the right way, etc., etc. You used out your will in it. So don't accentuate the negative, even though you need to change it, self-understood. Accentuate the positive. Baruch Hashem, you've done a lot of good in this world. You've used out your free will, l'tov, for the good in this world. 10-minute warning. Let's learn something.
10-minute warning to
Yeah.
the unsure.
Yes. Yes, correct. Correct. So before the sin, there was no free will in a way. They would live their life because of the revelation of godliness that was in the world. What happened was suddenly they ate from the tree. They asked for free will. They wanted to have physical free will, even though they had spiritual free will. They wanted physical free will, which self-understood. Abishter said, okay, but that's going to bring death in the world, and that's going to bring negativity in the world, and etc., etc. In the world, you know how much positivity there is in the world. You always accept, there's no like news station that talks about the good that's happening in the world, because it won't be a good sale. So we always have the news station tells them negativity in the world. Imagine you had this news station only tells you all the positive that's happening in the world. All the births, all the helping, all the tzedakah, all the saving, all the etc. Every positive doesn't give you a mention of negative. It's boring. Exactly. You want to hear one positive story. The 24 hours. Okay, end over. But meanwhile, 24 hours of hakmat shining with every negative, and now one positive story. They should have 24/7 good news, and then one negative story. They should change it. Correct. Because you know why? We like negative. It makes us happy for some reason. Negativity makes us happy. As much as we think that we love positive, we love a juicy negative. Why do you think tabloids are making billions? Because we love to hear the negative tabloids. We love to hear the negative of somebody else. It makes us feel good, right? So it makes us feel good. I don't know, because we have a midrash. Right. So I feel better about myself when I hear somebody else's inside. It's expression in Gemara. The tsar of somebody else for some reason is a half a consolation to yourself. It's a sick thing. It's a sad thing that people say, "Oh, I'm better than others. Oh, look at others. I could have been worse." That's sad. If that's your happiness, that you're better than others, it's a sad kind of existence. It's a sad. You should be happy for who you are. What? I heard an expression. It was a yid, and this was an amazing thing. He actually passed away. He was a yid that was crippled in Yerushalayim his whole life, and I couldn't find it. I saw this video. It's in Hebrew, and they asked him, and he was a happy Jew, and they're interviewing him, and they asked him, "Why are you so happy?" This is what he said. "I am happy." In Hebrew, he said, "I am happy that nobody else has what I have." Could have said, "I'm happy because there's other people worse than me." No, he said, "I am happy that nobody has what I have, and nobody should have what I have."
I'm happy with what I have.
But I think it's deeper to say that he's happy for others. It's a deeper concept. It's a much deeper concept. I thought, wow, that is, yeah, you could have said, "I'm happy for what I have. I'm happy I'm happy. He said it different. He said, no, I'm happy that somebody else doesn't have it. The Eibishter needs to give this in the world. I'm happy I took it. I took it for others. Let others not have it. What? Took it for the team. Took it for the team. Yeah, it's an amazing kind of a thing. Halavai, we all had that. Halavai, we all had that concept of feeling sad when another person's sad and feeling happy of another person's success. We hear that another person is very successful. Do we feel happy? As you go to a wedding, sometimes it's a mitzvah sameach chasam v'kala. Why is it a mitzvah? Everybody likes to sameach chasam v'kala. But sometimes you come to a wedding and say, "Oh, why not me? Why do I get stuff with the schlock and this guy? I'm a little jealous. I'm a little bit jealous. I'm a little jealous.
You got the cream of the crop. Look what I got.
Chas v'shalom. We got the best. So no, we have a little jealousy. It's a sad thing. You know what? A lot of people have tzaddis in life, and they feel, oh, why do other people have better? What is God doing to me? Why does other people have it different? Right. So that's that thing. So what? So what you want? You want God should everybody should be like you. That will make you happy. That will make you happy if everybody is that everybody has that. No. Why would we got 5 minutes? Why would you be happy? Why would you be happy? You should be happy for everybody. You should be happy that everybody doesn't have what you have. If you should have nothing, but whatever. If you have something, you should be happy that Baruch Hashem others are happy. So if you're sad, you want everybody to be sad. That's why misery likes company, right? You're sad. That's why Shammai said, "Have mekabelas kol adam b'seiv upon him yafis." You're angry. You're sad. You need somebody else to be sad. That will make you happy. Make another person happy. Maybe by making another person happy, you'll become happy. But why make sadness more? Because you're sad. You're angry. Make other people angry.
There's one other thing called the 10th commandment.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to covet what others have.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't have jealousy.
We shouldn't. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. We shouldn't. We shouldn't.
We should
But
be happy with our lot.
Yeah.
You have to make you
Yeah.
happy.
You're right.
You have to make you happy.
I can't help you. You have to make your own self happy.
See, but a tzaddik, if he was a tzaddik, the tzaddik's avodah is to make you happy. That's the avodah of a tzaddik.
To make you happy.
Make you happy, yeah. Because why? He has to schlep you out. He has to uplift you. The tzaddik's avodah is to make from bitterness into sweet, from darkness into light. So that's why you're stuck into tzaddik. Why? Because the tzaddik uplifts you. The tzaddik tells you you're better. He uplifts you from their darkness. He uplifts you from your bitterness. That's the beauty of a tzaddik. Tzaddik can make you happy. Well, if the person has to be a tzaddik to make you happy, maybe the rabbi was not a tzaddik. How is he supposed to make you happy? He has no possibility. Shorter is somebody. A tzaddik can make you happy because a tzaddik doesn't, his avodah is transformation. Our avodah, our service is subjugation, is control. The tzaddik's avodah is transformation. He's supposed to transfer everything from darkness into light, from bitterness into sweet. And that's why you go to a tzaddik to elevate yourself. What? I know I'm not one, so I can't tell you who's a tzaddik. The Baba Shem is a tzaddik. I know, you know who's a tzaddik. What? No. It's a good question.
Congratulate the rabbi. We managed to do this morning without ever touching a single word.
But you know what? You know what?
Isn't that
Baruch
amazing?
Hashem. Today
Good.
we have videos. You can see what the Rebbe was. Yeah, you realize what the Rebbe. You can listen to Farbrengen of the Rebbe. You'll see what a tzaddik is. Thank God we have this capability to give you what a person that is given over to God. That's his focus. That's his agenda. He uplifts the person, realizing that even in the depth of it, 100%. And you should be happy. We should be happy. We should be joyful. And if we need to do that, we should learn more. Connect yourself to a righteous person that can lift you up from this situation. And God bless you all. It was great to learn with you. But we have to leave. Have a wonderful and beautiful day. Yeah.